Hi everyone, welcome to Parlons en Anglais. My name is Glody Libanzilwa and today I am with
Mr. Mike Gavi, review for the show of today. Many thanks.
Great. So we are going to talk today about difficulties encountered by learners, EFL learners to speak English correctly in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So we are with Mr. Mike who is going to tell us, because Mr. Mike is also a fluent English speaker. I think that you saw him in the first video. So Mr. Mike is going to tell us about his experience, about difficulties that people in DRC encounter to speak English fluency.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Glody Banjila. I'm so glad for it. First of all, I may say that difficulties that secondary school pupils encounter in learning English are enormous, because from primary school or kindergarten, pupils are taught in French and in local languages. So there are 4 national languages in the DRC: Kikongo, Lingala, Swahili, and Chiluba. So apart from French, those languages are also used in teaching at primary school and kindergarten. Even at secondary school, classes are more taught in French. So only few English that is exposed to pupils. So the difficulties that they have is that they want to be taught in English in those languages. They want English to be taught in French and other local languages, but that does not help. Teachers have to teach English in English. That's the first difficulty that pupils encounter: listening problem and understanding problem. Those are most of the difficulties that pupils are in front of. Thank you so much.
Alright, Mr. Kiavi, for your point of view. So I would like also to ask you a short question linked to what I asked before, because you said that pupils they encounter these difficulties because of languages which are in DRC, and also because of the way that teachers they teach them. So I would like also to say that we in DRC we observe that when people they go to attend an English center, so after spending just 3 months, so you will notice that the person who was the learner will be able to speak English. But at the school, people they spend something like 6 years, even though there are some of them they go 7 years, but yet they are still unable to speak English fluently. And we are going to notice that there are so many English teachers in our countries, and those teachers they are also qualified in English. They can speak English well. So we would like you to tell us what is the real problem. Is it teachers who are teaching them bad, or themselves learners they are learning bad?
I've mentioned 2 reasons which causes difficulty in front of learners in learning English language. Now let's come to the sides of teachers. On the side, most of classes that are being taught in secondary school are grammar based. So they are exposed to less activities that involve them into conversations, into dialogues. We take teaching materials that are being used from 7th form to the top form, that is the last form. You'll see that majority of activities are focused in grammar. No exposition to conversations, vocabulary, and doesn't help them allowed to speak. So they memorize grammar. You can enter a class where you speak, and pupils can tell you that we can listen to you, we can understand you, but we are unable to react. We are unable to intervene, to involve ourselves into the conversation. So that is a problem. Teaching has to be changed. Things have to be revised. So from the starting level, if you go from 7th form to let's say 2nd year of secondary school, things have to be focused on conversation, dialogues, taking into consideration everyday language, and you'll see that after 2 years of 2 years or even more, you have pupils speaking in English. Grammar has to intervene in top forms because they have mastered the essential of the language. They can communicate. Now they can study the language that they learn. If I may mention a senior lecturer that we had at ESP, Mr. Lubenzi, who used to tell us we have to teach not about the language, but to teach the language. So if you're teaching grammar to pupils, you are teaching them about the language. So those who have to be taught about the language are those who master conversation, who master expression. But at the beginning level, they don't have to teach about the language. We have to teach their language. Teach them conversation. Teach them communication. That's why you've mentioned that most of people who go to centers, language learning centers, are more competent than secondary school pupils. That is the reason why. This is one of the reasons why. If you go to centers, most of activities are communication, role taking. So you see people practicing the language in twos, in threes, and that is how language functions. So if you don't get them involved into conversation, you don't have them to speak. They want to speak. That is why we don't have our pupils speaking the language at secondary school. Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Kiavi, but I would like also to ask you an additional question because you said that teachers, so you blend specially teachers, but I would like also to say that teachers, they don't teach themselves what they want to teach, but they teach what the national program has already implemented for them. So I would like also to know if a teacher is teaching by following what the state has already implemented for them now. What is so how will be the reaction of authorities? And secondly, I would like also to say that so teaching the language, as you said, teaching the language and teaching about the language. So it's well, but I would like to say teachers who are teaching in secondary school, most of them are qualified for teaching English. But most of teachers who are teaching English in the centers, some of them, they just learned English from centers and they also teach English in centers. But you will notice that there is somebody with a degree of English, but yet unable to train pupils or learners to speak English like he is speaking himself. So I would like you to tell me from the national program and the qualification of teachers now, what do you think about both of that?
The question is really meaningful. I may say that the national program concerns only first levels of secondary school up to the fourth. So if you take the 7th form and the 8th form, there's no national program about that. So teachers have to compile material to teach in 7th form and 8th form. So they have to select materials that's meaningful for communication. So that's the first advantage that exists. If you also take into consideration the national program in the first and the second form, in the second level of Humanité, so you see that more percentage is given to communication. 80% is given to communication. Grammar is just, I think, 10%. Reading is 20%, something like that. So even if you consider the national program as it is designed, you'd see yourself that much attention is paid to communication, language communication. So even the national program motivates teachers to focus on communication from first year of Humanité and second year. Grammar only intervene more in the third year and the fourth year, because at those levels pupils are already competent. They are advanced learners. They can understand the functioning of the language. They can understand the language structure. There it is allowed to teach grammar, to teach phonetics, to teach everything about the language. That is what I can have as a conclusion.
Alright, sir, I think your suggestion will be helpful for English teachers, especially English teachers living in DRC, and also learners. It can also be helpful for learners. I think those who are watching us will take them into account. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube channel. If you like the video, please subscribe on our YouTube channel and leave a thumbs up. So if you want to find us, to have more information about us, you will see on the script there is our link and you can contact us. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. We are going to meet again next time.